name. That she is. Welcome to Comics League Dark. I'm Jared. I'm here with Teladia Plays. What's going on, my brother?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Comics League Dark episode.
Oh boy. So this was quite the week. And what's up, Tevia? So let's get started. You wanna talk about what today's little event first? Want to start off with that?
Let's talk about. We got to kick it off with the big news, okay? We got to talk about the big news.
You know what? I might as well. I can't think of a better clip to use for this than this one. Hang on. This is the transition to this topic.
Yeah, second Warner Brothers.
So, is Zack coming back to DC or not?
You mean Zack coming back to Warner Brothers?
Well, he's already back at Warner Brothers because of the 300.
But I mean, fully, like everything, including DC.
So here's what happened. So yesterday, Zack was hanging out with James Gunn. They took a picture together. Now, slide-eyed fans noticed. Okay, wait a second. He's in the same room that was like the DCU writers' room. Which has me thinking. All right. He's in that same room, and he's obviously back at Warner Brothers. He's buddy-buddy with James Gunn. First off, that could be only good things for us. Does that mean... is he coming back to DC? Now, there were three possibilities for this. There were three possibilities of what could be going on with this. Number one is just a friendly meeting. Yeah, I know, Jamie. Number one, it's just a friendly meeting. Number two is to discuss Zack directing the Authority movie. And number three, hey, Zack, we have this Elseworlds banner, and I see you have a Justice League thing that never got made.
I have a fourth.
What's the fourth?
Wonder Woman, Paradise Lost.
Okay, but the point is DCU. We'll put that under the Authority. Yeah. I don't think it's number. I'm not sure. I don't think it's number one because the fact that the photo comes out and then they say we're gonna have an announcement for the DCU on Monday, and I've heard people say it's probably going to be the Elseworlds slate, and Elseworlds.
I just had a thought.
What?
It's the, I believe it's the second. Was it my second year? When it's the 3rd anniversary since Zack Snyder's Justice League next month.
That would be interesting. Yes, it was pure entertainment, Dammy Ray. Oh God. So
what's GC?
Group chat. So all right. So now let's talk about this. So here's the thing. If in terms of the third option, because it could be that. It could very well be they talked about it because accordingly, granted, Gunn changes his mind every like 30 to 40 seconds. It could be that because he said in the past, hey, if Zack wants to come back, I'll let him come back and complete his stuff. That's fine. So let's assume it is that. Teladia, for the record, for the people at home, if it's animation, will you be satisfied? What's up, Bell Rev?
I will be satisfied no matter what the cost is, right?
Yeah, me too. The way I see it, as long as Zack says, "Hey, you know what? This is the way it's going to be completed," I'm satisfied with that. I'd be like, "Yep, okay, that's fine."
If it's animation and in the same animation style as Teen Titans Goes, that little clip thing that they had, I'll be happy with that animation style as well.
Yeah, and Dammy Ray, that's why I said it could be like a friendly visit. That's like. Fine. I take it as anything as long as I get a conclusion.
I'll take that.
I mean, the Snyderverse game would be freaking dope.
But I'll play that.
Here's the problem with the game: they would have to have worked on it in the past stuff. They can. Bellrev said they can really do anything with animation, but yes, I'd rather have it live. Let me be clear: we'd rather have it live. But if they don't, they could do Love, Death, and Robots live action animation because that's virtually live action.
So I got a question. I got something to question.
Yeah, go ahead.
right? Can can you imagine if James Gunn says, "Oh, we'll do it in animation, but on top of that, we'll promote some of the books that were inspired by these animation stuff." How would you feel about that?
Hmm. I mean, if they want to, you mean in terms of the Snyder stuff, and they go, "We're gonna promote the books that inspired the Snyder stuff." That would work too. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jared. Remember the DC was in the same animation. Don't remind me, Danny Ray. Let's just say that he and I were in a group chat and we were debating with people about the animation stuff and about how like it'd be a downgrade because people don't want to be the Creature Commandos animation. And I'm like, I never said it would be the Creature Commandos. Anyway. Honestly, I would take Yeah, exactly. That would I think we could work, or maybe the Invincible art style could work great.
Invincible style. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. That would actually work really well. But it's like, see, here's the thing. I think some of the fan base are a little too like, to a degree, it's selfish and entitled because it's like, listen, if Zack says this is the way it has to be and I'm happy with it, we have no right to ask for more. That's my position. If Zack says this is this is the conclusion that I am happy with, no matter what the animation style is, accept it and move on. That's it.
And you know what, to add on top of that, this would actually get Gunn more over than what people don't seem to realize is that the fan base will be more accepting of his DCU and be
Yeah.
more acceptive of him. You know, okay, you did something very nice, and you basically completed Zack's story. Even it wasn't the one we wanted, we still appreciate you took the common courtesy to actually let Zack finish his story. And I think that's the main focal point, guys.
Yeah.
It's if James Gunn, that is the announcement next week, that James Gunn says, "Oh, by the way, guys, Zack Snyder is completing his story, and to clarify this is going to be either animation or whether it's live action, whatever it is, but it's completion."
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to be on the big screen. I would mind. I wouldn't even mind if it's
They
like,
could do a theatrical release of the animated Snyderverse. There's
yeah,
nothing to say they can't. But it's like the thing is like, listen, I'll put it this way. I said in another group chat that, look, this is what you could do. If you were to, like, if Gunn comes out, yeah, to Teladia's point and says, yeah, we're going to complete the universe, that would be that would do well for two things. Get some positive PR on James Gunn's side, and two things. It would show that this is not the same WB that screwed with Zack before, and Gunn can say it's time to bury the hatchet. Because if he does this, can you imagine we get Snyder stuff, Gunn stuff, and Reeves stuff, and we don't have to choose?
it's a win-win.
We get it all. That's the way you unite the fan base. Just say that. There you go. You're done.
It's a it's a win-win.
It's a win-win-win. Everyone gets what they want. Snyderverse gets a conclusion, and if it's popular, you can say, "Hey Zach, you want to direct like Authority or some other stuff?" There you go. You're done. You can get all the fun stuff we could do. Plus, Zach gets closure. We get closure. I'm not saying do 3 universes. I'm just saying do one movie. That's all it would require. Live action, animation, I don't care. To conclude the Snyderverse, conclude the story in some way. Guess what that does? Makes you look good to the fans. To the moderate fans, not the radical ones, the moderate ones that saw you rebooting and only putting your people in there as kind of standoffish, if you will.
But people like myself, right, who are willing to give James Gunn a chance, right? This is a very good, like, that picture shows that he's willing to take a picture with someone that's very influential, and someone that isn't like the previous regime that cut Zack Snyder to the curb, right? Which, this is a big step in my opinion, right? You've never seen a studio head do that, or even a WB exec do that, right? after the product that not be named. Okay, the product that not be named. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
since that, um, there's not been an executive that hand out reached Zach, Zach, hand out to Zach. Oh, I'm sorry about X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a promotional thing. The only promotional thing we did was for the SnyderCon and Full Circle event,
Yeah.
right? That
So
was it.
if you do it, guess what? It's like, okay, you know what? You can definitely win over a lot of people. Plus, with me, I'll be more willing, definitely, to give Superman the other stuff a little more of a chance to go. Okay, you know what? You concluded the Snyderverse. At this point, I owe your thing a full on open mind chance. That's it. No, I will not. Okay, Mac, just stop. Just stop, okay? I'm just going to tell you that right there. Just none of that stuff in the comments, please. Thank you. The same apology. Zach got yeah. Do the air cut too on like Max. You just have to do that on Max. I'll accept that and we're good to go. The Snyderverse JLJ2 is I think with him not doing what he told Ayer said yeah that too. It's like he told Ayer that like, hey, whatever WB wants to do, I'll do it. You are in charge of this. You can release it. As far as I'm concerned, they have no reason to not release the Ayer cut.
I just had a thought.
What?
What if they announced the air cut Zach stuff as a combined thing?
Yeah, it would 100% be a part of that. And you can use that to promote the Snyder stuff and say, hey, so we're concluding the Snyderverse. Here's this other thing that got released. Because that way DC has no baggage here. Do that. You're done. You can walk away from the DCEU. As far as the DCEU is concerned, all the directors that got their movies severely messed with have been repaid. You're done.
Yeah.
As far as the original movies in the Snyderverse.
So what they can do is in between Aquaman 1 and 2, they can canonize it.
You could.
That they could, if you know what I mean, because he's got the golden outfit and everything, right?
Well, they already canonized ZSJL, so either way, that's canon to the DCEU.
Yeah. Question is, would the
by Jared, as I stated, the goal should be bare minimum IMAX release ZSJL air cut, and if you want to continue JL 2 and 3 and Batman, maybe I just think what's probably going, if this happens, it's probably just going to be JL 2 to end it, or Kingdom Come, and probably Ayer cut and Schumacher cut. Those three things are the realistic solution. I don't think we're going to get a lot of stuff. I really don't. In terms of Ayer cut, make its money back. Streaming, Tevye, it's different rules. Streaming.
Number-wise, I think it'll be up there.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder numbers. Zack Snyder's Justice League numbers.
Plus, Zack could promote it as well. And DC did great when they promoted the Snyder cut. So you can't tell me that wouldn't make money.
And you know what would be really cool as well if they did it once they promote if it's Kingdom Come, start promoting more of Alex Ross's work.
You get Alex Ross do a full-on cover that's inspired by the Snyderverse actors.
And it's not only that, Jared. It's not only that, but it's what about the Justice comic? Promote that.
Or even the superheroes comic. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
also, Suicide Squad came out as on Netflix. It was top 5. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Ayer cut's probably not going to go to theaters. I can tell you that much. What could go to theaters if they get the streaming things, if they get the what's the word? If they get if they get the cut done, if they get an animation or something like that, the Justice League conclusion is probably the one that's going to go to streaming. I mean, to theaters. That's what I think. If they're smart, they would do that.
Zack's project will be more bigger than Ayer's project, I'm afraid, because Zack is a bigger name than David Ayer currently, because he's working on. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say that because Zack is working with, what's his name, Dana White with the UFC, and
Mm-hmm.
he's got all these different people. So maybe James Gunn is what in his mind. If this is true, maybe in his vision is like, oh, why don't we use Zack to promote his stuff, and at the same time put it into the theaters, elevate DC name, and make the money back. And
Mm-hmm.
on top of that, WB will make so much money back, and they can invest in other things too.
Yeah, exactly. Suicide Squad it doesn't need to make money, Joe. Yeah, it doesn't. That's why I say streaming. Let's put it on Max. You're good to go. Also, Suicide Squad or a lot of, yeah, I did. Yeah, that's why. That's one of the honestly things standing in the way of the Ayer cut, because it's like, hey, because the difference is the other cut of Justice League that doesn't exist lost the studio money. That's why it was like, should we do this? I mean, it could be better and get our money back.
I'm I'm still I'm still gonna wait out next week. I'm gonna see what happens.
We should know by Monday what's going on. So, hey, if it happens, emergency stream on this channel, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll try and make it before I go to the hospital and that.
mm-hmm. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But the point is, it's like it's just the timing that has me thinking something's got to be at least going with Zack, because the thing happens, and because the picture gets put out there, and then you get the announcement that there's going to be an announcement. Question: speaking of Snyder, if Snyder going to team up, do you think? No,
No,
it's heavy. Again, earlier in the stream, I said, realistically, it would just be Justice League 2, maybe Schumacher cut, and then what's the word? There was another thing here.
but Batman Forever.
Batman Forever. That's realistically what would happen. That is 100% realistic what would happen. The other stuff is whatever Jared, but yeah, exactly. The Ayer cut has zero excuse to not be released. 100% I agree with you, Jamie Ray. It's like that's why I said that's the realistic scenario, because that has that has very minimum work that needs to be done to it. Then you have the Schumacher cut, which I believe is done pretty much, and then yeah, you have the Snyder movie. But again, if he's invited back and he can do that, hey, that would be great. I would be totally down with that.
Do you know what also the Schumacher cut would do for WB in terms
Mm-hmm.
of just the name Batman on a streaming service, it would boost up those numbers in views and subscription numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't need to be put in theaters. They could just put it on a streaming platform or digital, and it'll make those numbers back easily.
Yes, exactly.
I'm just saying as a, you know, as a person that thinks that they're gonna do it streaming services. That's what I think.
Yeah, they don't have to promote it, and all they have to do is put on physical media. That too, that works. Batman Forever, from my understanding, just has score needed and adds to VFX. Yeah, exactly. So, in terms of those two directors' cuts, that's like chump change. That's particularly with like Batman. That's money in the bank. That's all you got to do is like throw that out there, and then as soon as you like release that, the Ayer cut, and then maybe do a conclusion to ZSJL, you can the DCU will literally be able to start without this pall over its head. That's like you threw out this for this and stuff. That's it. That's really what that kind of is. Yes, and Tabby brings up a good point. When the Snyder Cut came out, it was sold out everywhere. I literally had to pre-order it on Amazon in order to get my copy because it sold out that fast.
And you know, I think this will get Zaslav over more.
Yeah, if you can show, because Zaslav is a numbers guy, he's a money guy. If you can get like if you can show him like there is a monetary gain to be had by doing these things, he will move heaven and earth to do it. Because if there's one thing Zaslav speaks, it's the language of money. He wants those greenbacks. He wants cash. And Batman Forever doesn't come with baggage. In my opinion, I released both for 2026. Announce it this. Yeah, exactly. That great idea, Damien Ray. That's the promotion. And then there you go. You're going to go. Then the DCU. Again, I want to bring this up. The DC brand can start its cinematic universe on a fresh slate. You're done.
I'm still going to go see James Gunn's Superman.
Oh yeah. I'll also see it anyway. But in terms of like general, like the fan base beyond us, because you could say, hey, why are you boycotting this for the Snyderverse? We concluded that it's done. And Zach was happy. You're done.
You see, I feel as well there's going to be a lot of people out there going to say, well, what about the Batfleck film? Or what about the...
honestly, those comics. Do those in comics. Would I like to see those in movies? Yeah. But is it realistic that we'll get all that? No. And by the way, if Gunn's universe fails, you're not going to get that.
I had a better idea. That will generate buzz and that will generate thing. I know it's not 1-to-1, but it will get money and revenue, right? They can work out for 4 years, work on this for 4 years and get it out in 4 years' time.
Yeah.
The Batman video game, which is going to be, and you have Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke, and you have somebody else.
Video game is too much, dude. You can't do a game because time and cost. There's no way you're going to do this. Yeah, Cameron, that's the thing. That's the thing that we're all imagining here, because here's the issue with this. So they announced that, so doesn't really announce. What it is Gunn and Snyder take a picture together in the DCU writers room. And then we get something that says like there's going to be an announcement on Monday. So I'm like, something's connected. Bobby Ray says, Jared, Tom and MCL did this thing, but released the Snyder cut. I said, ZSJL, great. It never been released. Ayer cut. But yeah, exactly. You could do all that in physical media. Do it. There's really no reason not to do it, because Snyder himself also has data that shows, hey, when my stuff gets released on physical media, it sells. Look at Batman versus Superman. A lot of its money was made back in the DVD sales.
I knew you were gonna bring that up.
Yeah, that's it. A lot of the money was made up in the DVDs.
I still got the digital for the trilogy. It'd be nice to have the full set though.
Oh yeah. Does this mean WB is keeping Zack in the back in case Gunn fails? That could be like in the back of their mind. What I think they're probably doing is, I think what Gunn is trying to do is, I think he's trying to like, I believe that Gunn and him are friends, and Gunn is trying to like smoothen the transition. So he's probably like, hey, Zack, you want to come back and complete your thing? You can. I won't stand in your way. Also, I'm fairly confident they will do Batman Forever. We'll see the Ayer cut. They show Batman Forever in theaters and release time. Yeah, I think they could. It's one of those things. I think they could if it's like an anniversary thing. Speaking of Snyder, does this mean all of his Rebel Moon stuff is happening? Tavia, none of this is confirmed. This is all speculation.
We're just speculating. We're just having
none of this is confirmed. So we're not going to address the Rebel Moon stuff.
We're just having a fun time theorizing things. We're not taking things as confirmed. We're just theorizing on what the possibilities are, and that's what it is, Tavia.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I just was going to say this. It'd be nice to have Batman Forever in theaters, and on top of that, to also say that this would actually get this would actually show Val Kilmer's portrayal as Batman in a more serious tone, because he never got the opportunity to do that in '95, right? So this would actually get him more over as a serious Batman than a campier Batman. And I feel that this would show justice, and I'm very much interested though to see the big bat.
That would be actually kind of cool. Well, if Zack does come back, I need that Deathstroke versus Batman. Let me put it this way. If it comes with all that stuff, great. If it doesn't, I'm not going to go like, oh my gosh, it's ruined. I don't like Batman Forever, but I'll wait for his movie to... wait until the director's cut, because as we know, with a certain director whose last name starts with an S, the director's cut's always better. And he says, I get it more... I get it was more of slogan, Jared, but we need to actually honor them. This is the way you honor the past and respect the future. That's what or like respect the past and embrace the future. However that slogan goes. Because if you respect the past and release it and release all the stuff, that's respecting the past. Then you can embrace the future more fully. That's what I'll say there. More fully. And you can actually say, okay, the past happened. Okay, we're good.
But I was gonna say as well on top of that is that I think whatever James Gunn has got planned, I'm sure it will be brilliant in terms of like
I don't think I'm not gonna say promotional wise because he just because he's promoting the comics does not mean the movies are going to be good though, dude.
True, but I mean what I meant to say is that at least he's doing something about the comics compared to Marvel. Marvel aren't doing anything about the comics.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a sad thing.
David is a nice guy, but I'm saying I don't care about the other stuff editing his movie and not telling him until he's... Yeah, that is nasty. And yeah, that's the type of stuff that needs to be fixed, because that's a matter of creative integrity. Because remember, he took the punches in the media for like his Suicide Squad movie. That's it. My biggest thing, imagine being able to watch the real DCEU movies, the first 5, without studio BS. Dude, imagine if we could watch those movies without all the studio stuff and we can just watch them as intended.
And we can include Wonder Woman in that as well.
Wonder Woman will count because that's close enough. But in that case, yeah, we're going to do a stream when we do that. That would be dope.
A watch along.
Yeah, a watch along of every movie. We can definitely do that for fun. But yeah, I mean, I think that's about... Is that about all we can talk about with this topic? You want to move on?
Well, there's one or two more things I just want to address, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that, guys, what we're doing is we're theorizing, we're speculating.
None of this is confirmed.
Please don't think as this as confirmed, because if you say, oh, well, Teladia and Jared said this and it's confirmed. No, we never said it's confirmed. It's just, and
please, for the love of God, when we talk about Gunn, don't bring up anything besides his DC movies. Don't bring up anything that's in the media about him, please.
Yeah.
If you do that, I will time you out.
Yeah. So I think this is a good place to switch gears.
Yeah, let's do this. So, you want to talk about DC Marvel crossover, Matt Fraction's the new Batman run, or underrated comic book runs?
Marvel DC crossover, please.
Yep. So it got announced today that they're going to do DC. This is confirmed. This is not like speculation. This is confirmed that by the end of this year, DC and Marvel are going to release some DC some one shots that are DC Marvel crossovers. Interesting how this happens after those Omnibus come out. Hey, Teladia, that I have on my shelf back there.
I just had the thought.
Mm-hmm.
What if they're going to do the amalgam? Not the amalgam. The versus thing that before they became the amalgam.
They did that. It's in the amalgam omnibus, as a matter of fact.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
I never picked that up. So
yeah, that has that. It has to have that because Amalgam came out of that event. At the end of during that event, the DC and Marvel universe were merged. That's where Amalgam came from.
okay, I just had,
yeah, I am. So yeah, we're getting another after all these years. Yeah, that would be interesting. It's like it's gonna be interesting to see how they cross over because the DC and Marvel universes of that time period are different from the ones today. Now, which crossover characters do you think would be cool to cross over?
Obviously, Spider-Boy and Superboy, aka that
Super Spider-Boy?
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying crossover. I don't necessarily mean amalgam.
Okay, well, crossover between John Kent, Superboy, and because he's a Superboy in my eyes, and the Spider-Boy. You know, the one that's
actually, his new superhero name is going to be what's the word? It's gonna be Super Sons.
Huh?
That's his new name. Batman Beyond and Spider-Man 2099 says Tavia. That's a good one. That I could definitely see that one. It depends what I could see them doing. I think they're only going to do like non-niche characters, and Batman Beyond and Spider-Man 2099 are still kind of niche because it's only going to be 2 of them from what this says, I think.
Yeah. How many issues was it? Did you say?
Yeah, it looks like I'm check this out right now, but I think it's 2.
2 issues? Okay, I'll have to check that issue out.
I think let me see. It doesn't say confirmed, I don't think. But yeah, Raven and Wanda, that could be interesting. I mean, if they do another Justice League Avengers book, they can bring in all these different characters. It's not like they can't like do that. Is this a worlds merging or an amount? It's not necessarily an. I don't know yet, actually. I'm gonna assume that it's just DC and Marvel characters crossing over.
Now the question is, are they going to do the mainline continuity, or are they going to do the absolute continuity as well?
No, it's just gonna be the regular universe.
Oh,
they're not gonna overcomplicate it to Teladia. They cannot overcomplicate this.
Oh, that's a bummer. Because
it's kind of not because it's like, why would you overcomplicate it? Just do it classic.
True. It would have been nice though to have it. This is hypothetical though, by the way.
Because if you do that, why not just do regular Wonder Woman and like Thor? I'm sure it'd be better than Tom King's Wonder Woman. I'm just saying. But I think Bleeding Cool had an article about the goodness of parents. 2 one-shots. So it's just 2. So yeah. Damien says all the Titans and Ravens comics make me want to cry. I don't even buy them anymore. I dropped Wonder Woman because Tom King is a horrible writer. He's a mess, and I'm just like, nah, I'm good. But I used to have Absolute Wonder Woman to enjoy. So there you go. Pick up Absolute Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that book.
Keep that book selling. Keep that book selling because that is selling great.
I saw Bleeding Cool's like image of the next issue 8. We got to talk about that. We have to talk about that.
That'll be fun for issue 5. I think it's issue 5 because that's the end of the arc.
Was it? But in the picture it said issue 8 because it was in the future.
They might have promoted issue 8. I didn't see it, so I'm not really necessarily gonna jump. You saw Damien Ray was carrying the Harley Quinn show for a second. My fandom was going crazy. Yeah, I know, and I'm sure you also enjoyed Apocalypse War, Damien Ray. We know you enjoyed Apocalypse War, which I did too. That movie was freaking dope. Curious, what creative teams? I don't. They haven't said anything about that. Donny Cates would be great for this. But there is, speaking of that, so Donny Cates is coming back to comics. This is the guy that like introduced Null to comics. He made Thor, Herald of Galactus. Now, speculation, he could be coming to DC for the Absolute Universe because he was hanging out with Scott Snyder recently.
Scott is the GOAT.
Now I'm thinking Absolute Justice League? written by Donny Cates. That could be actually really good because Scott Snyder did say this year is the year the Absolute books cross over.
Jared, I just noticed something. We talked about Snyder this beginning, and now we're talking about Snyder again.
You could say we went full circle.
Yeah, we went full circle on this.
Danny Ray says, "Did you see my tweet? I got the rare for I saw when the comics come out. Oh, dude, that's great. That's awesome. I love that. But yeah, I mean, it's about time they crossed it. It was inevitable they were going to cross it over. What it probably was, it's like, since we're starting off this universe, let's do it one at a time. It's like even when they did the Ultimate Universe, like the original Ultimate Universe with Marvel, they only started with Ultimate Spider-Man. Then they built off from there. Granted, they went from Ultimate Spider-Man to Ultimate X-Men and then Ultimates, but it was like they started simple and added on to it. Donny Cates did add Justice League, technically the Justice League to his storybook. That could. I would really like that, and he likes hanging out with Scott Snyder. So Donny Cates is one of those amazing writers where I think if he puts his mind to it, which he always does, like his Venom run made me a massive fan of the symbiote. Like that is it. That 100% got me. But so what do you think, Teladia? So let's talk about this. Teladia wanted to discuss this. So what Absolute books are you the most pumped for? Because I gotta say, Absolute Flash looks pretty dope.
I gotta agree with you. I think Absolute Flash looks dope. The first issue coverage that was revealed, I was very excited for that. And I gotta say, I'm also excited for Absolute Batman with Mr. Freeze in it.
So Mr. Freeze is apparently very lanky. I'm going to pull up an image of Mr. Freeze here because this looks freaking terrifying. All right, hang on. I got to pull this up. This looks like Slender Man thing, dude.
Slender Man, I can't believe you
this is Absolute Slender Man. This is a 100% Absolute Slender Man. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this. God. I'm like,
it's creepy.
In a world where you have Batman that's built like a freaking tank, it kind of makes sense that you would then have Mr. Freeze but it's like
that looks like a Slender Man. That looks like a Slender Man to you.
Yeah, Slender Freeze. That's what he is. That's Slender Freeze.
You know, that would be a catchy title.
So actually, Teladia, here's what we have. We have the Batman Who Lives and Slender Freeze.
Oh, I just thought of a really good catchy title for Snyder Fantasy Comics when that movie comes that.
Yeah, you can put it in the chat so you don't spoil it.
Okay.
But yeah, I see that design and I'm like, that is interesting. And that's the one thing I will say about all of the things there about the Absolute Universe books. Each one has, yes. I mean, that could be a little too niche, but I see what you're going for. But it's like, going with that, I'm like, I think that when you get to that, the thing about the Absolute books that I love is like, again, it's like unique ideas, but they're all lead to the same point. It's like how you essentially have like Wonder Woman be like in hell, but she still ends up like Wonder Woman. Like all of these still lead to them becoming our superheroes. It's essentially the idea of like, it's essentially the idea of what's the idea? It's essentially the thing of, oh man, I just lost my train of thought. It's essentially the idea of these are still our superheroes. You take away their support system, they still end up being those superheroes. Like 110%. There you go. That is like That is 100% like the way you can make this work really well. And that's what the Absolute Universe is doing. And I like that it's working. And again, Absolute Flash looks freaking dope. And I'm happy to see like a lot of the Absolute books are working out really well. According to the writer for Absolute Flash, the Rogues are gonna play a very big role in the book, which that'll be good. Absolute Martian Manhunter is the one where I'm like, okay, but it's the design is what's holding me back. Obviously, I'm gonna try out all the Absolute books, 110%, because I want to see what they're doing. It's just the design for Martian Manhunter, where he basically looks like Gumby. I'm like, I'm not digging that alien form. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, it can't be any worse than like some of the worst character designs we've gotten in comics.
Yeah, not wrong.
But so let's move on to another topic here. Let's go on to, so they're restarting Batman. So this was a rumor that actually got confirmed now. So Matt Fraction is taking over Batman. We're getting the gray and blue suit back, and a new Batmobile, and it's being restarted as a new #1. So what's going to happen is, so Zdarsky's off the book. You get Hush 2, which we're going to be discussing on the channel for sure, and then it's going to restart with a new #1. Which is cool because it means they could do that with the other books, maybe Wonder Woman, and kick the current writer off. Just please do that. But I'm going to pull up the image of the new Batsuit because I really think this looks dope. I'm going to pull up this image because this Batsuit design is actually pretty tight. Here we go. So check this out, Teladia.
It reminds me of Jim Lee's Hush.
Yeah, it's meant to like evoke that because it's going back to the like blue and gray from like Hush and such.
I can just see PC modders putting that suit in Batman Arkham Knight.
Oh yeah. By the way, you know what's kind of funny? So Jorge Jimenez is still drawing the book. He's been drawing this book since like 2020. So he has outlasted like 3 Batman writers at this point. Which I'm fine. His art looks freaking superb, but I'm like, oh wow, Jared hate for Tom King. Oh, it is ever enduring, Damie. And I picked the worst time to grow to make Wonder Woman my #1 favorite superhero because her main universe book is utter garbage.
It's doo-doo water.
It is doo-doo water, exactly. It is very doo-doo water. And I'm just like, it's one of those things where I'm like, it's sad, but I do, because I want these characters to do well. The thing is, it's less heartbreaking for me now that I dropped the Wonder Woman book because Absolute Wonder Woman is superb. Superb. Yes, I know how you feel about Raven Damien, right? But Absolute Wonder Woman superb, so I have a comfort book, and it's long been that, so I don't have to deal with this. In case you guys are wondering, Jared, why did you endure so long? I wanted to see if he would stick to landing with the Sovereign story, and he didn't. As far as I know, he didn't. So I'm done. Yes, Tavia, it's confirmed the Sovereign story is over. It's just I was waiting to see how he ended it, but from what I saw, I'm like, I'm not impressed. I'm done. I do say, guess what? Guess who got blocked on Instagram by Tom King?
Yeah.
Because I may have put a comment on his post. But because what I said was, I may have been petty, but screw it. He deserves it because he is a horrible writer when it comes to Wonder Woman. So I put in here, so you make Wonder Woman all rah-rah for America, that #1 kidnapped and killed her sisters, ignoring the fact that modern post-crisis Wonder Woman has not canonically been patriotic to the United States, but that would require you to actually read Wonder Woman, which I doubt you actually did, And this is after you have Diana worship Steve, who hasn't been her love interest for about 5 years. Maybe you should leave the book and write a character you actually know and appreciate, because Wonder Woman is not that character. That's what I said. That's all I said. That's all I said. And the man's
wait.
Because on their tweet, her saying nothing happened. I said clown show. I guess she got mad. Yeah. Wait, I got blocked by Grace. Oh God, King off Wonder Woman like yesterday. Yeah. That's what I said. Wait, Cameron, don't ever go to war with me, because you will lose. I've said this to Britt. If you go to war with me, yeah. Oh, my good friend, another friend of mine got blocked as well. Ha ha. He's on a blocking spree because his ego is about the size of an ant.
Jared, I forgot to ask you, did we play Brit's intro?
Oh, she is here, so I actually do have to do that. So let's do this.
He's back.
Hi, Britt. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I'm fine with that. It's like, you know what? Nothing of value is lost. Okay, can't believe Tom King is near. Yes, I know, Damie Ray. He's near Green Lantern. So I heard him explain that whole what even is willpower thing. And it was Tom King trying to be philosophical. And I'm like, stop it. Stop. Again, stop trying to be Alan Moore. You're not Alan Moore. Go do what you normally do. And I love how he said, "Oh, I'm going to be here for the long run on Wonder Woman." And I'm like, "No, you're not. You are most definitely not going to be on the Wonder Woman book for a long time." That's all I'm going to say about that. The point is, good news for Batman. Next topic. So this is actually a fun little conversational piece. Now, are there any runs that you guys think are underrated and that should deserve a little more love? And I'm going to say this. So I've only read 2 issues from this run so far, but I'm actually enjoying this. Oh, thoughts on the Young Justice animation being different. Oh, yeah. Long story. And so, Clunrad's Wonder Woman. So I've read a couple of issues of this so far. I'm reading through all of this because this was panned by the fan base, or by like people that claim to know Wonder Woman, and I wanted to try it out to see for myself, is this book really that bad? And I've also read yeah, exactly, Garatina. So because I've read like the end of the run, like with Amazon, like with Trial of the Amazons and such. Darkness Jared, nice Damie Ray. So I tried that, and I was like, okay, you know what? I liked what I read. So I figured, okay, you know what? Let me try this out. Oh my gosh, is this good? Is this good? Like this picks up right when Death Metal ends, Teladia, when Wonder Woman dies. Turns out she went to Valhalla and had to fight her way back to essentially the mortal plane.
Okay, that's interesting.
So it's Wonder Woman in like Norse gear, like Thor, and she's like fighting through dead guys. It's really dope.
Please make a skin of that, guys. Monolith, we need that skin.
Please actually release the game. But so what about I used to hate Rebirth, but I'm enjoying it now. Which Rebirth? Because Rebirth in the comics is crap. And okay, there you go. Robert's here, so let's go and do this. Let me let him in. I need a good intro for him.
We'll just
a good intro.
Not impressed. Use that as an
intro. Screw it. I got it.
What?
Hey, Robert. How you doing, dude?
Sorry I am so late. I was recording another PTN.
No, it's all good. So we're talking about underrated comic book runs. In other words, runs that were necessarily panned, but we enjoy. The one I said, Clunrad.
Nah.
It doesn't matter if it's sold. I'm just saying what I've read so far compared to what I've read recently from He Who Must Not Be Named. To me, this is good. I'm not looking for approval.
I don't know. I understand it. I'm just saying for me, it was boring.
Okay.
It was boring.
All right. How about you? Is it the Lois Lane book by Rucka?
No, but it's something you and I can agree to.
What?
Electric Blue.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Electric Blue is so underrated and does not deserve the hate it gets.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Teladia.
Superman Red book, the Superman Red book, the red and blue book. That when he was split into two.
No.
No, that
got bad.
I mean,
that
between Robert and I, because it's like it had a good concept, but they went a little
for an issue or two. But then you weren't even feeling bad for Lois, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, guys, come on, just wrap it. That's the occasion of when they had a good idea, but stretched it way too long than it needed to be.
I'm only talking about the one issue when he was split into.
Yeah, we're saying for like an issue or two, it's fine.
Wait. He's talking about the original pre-crisis version.
Yeah.
One that was inspired. That was a good Elseworld story.
That was interesting. I'll appreciate that. That one I'll appreciate. There you go.
By the way, what other topics did you guys talk about? Because I missed.
We talked about Matt Fraction on Batman and restarting at number one.
I'm curious on that.
I like that suit design. We talked about them confirming that another DC Marvel crossover, at least 2 issues are coming this year. And we talked about Zack and Gunn taking pictures together and speculation.
I have a strong feeling there might be something going on. It feels too coincidental.
Yeah, because what I think at least, okay, Robert, it's one of three things.
Authority, maybe?
No, it's one of three things. Number one, he just happened to be there and it was a friendly meeting. It's too coincidental for that to happen.
Yeah.
It's just one of the things. I was just considering all of them. Two, it's authority. Or three, they're also like, hey, Zach, we have this Elseworlds banner, and if you want to finish it as an animated thing, you could do that as well.
That is possible, too, but yeah, it's too coincidental when they also are talking to that guy about Clayface.
And then literally, he's announced as the director. So I'm like, something is going on, at least with Zach. It looks like, I think the announcement we're going to get on Monday is the Elseworlds slate.
Yep, I think so, too, and I will say this. Anyone who thinks of the stage, I don't buy. On eyes or face.
Yeah, I'm like...
That is not an option. Stage is not an option. Paid to try and cater to people, not an option.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. Teen Titans Rebirth is extremely underrated. Yeah, because they undid a lot of damage there. So are you three like mega comic book fans? Have you seen our backgrounds?
Because of someone from Twitch who's probably just popping in.
No, it's all good. But yeah. Well, all three of us are like super comic fans.
Well,
go ahead, Robert.
Hey, if you mention that, I'm going to mention as something I feel is underrated, you probably strongly disagree with. Morrison's Green Lantern.
I never read it, so I can't really have an opinion on it.
All right. I thought you did. I know there are a lot of people who don't like it, especially for, we punched God. No, he didn't.
No, I skipped it just because I wasn't interested. That's really what it is. It's not
underrated for me. I'm saying
Earth One Batman's underrated for sure.
People love that, but
I love it.
Earth One Wonder Woman, I think, is accurately rated at
volume 3, not the first two.
I still say 2 and 3. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
I'll say it this way: it's similar to Superman Year One. First book and a half was good. The second half and the third book was bad.
Robert, would you believe I was almost going to pick up that book and I never did?
All right. That's your call.
Damie says, because I spoke to EC Film News, it's odd how that went down today. I'll say at least. Yeah, the timing, Robert, is what tells me that something is happening.
I agree. You're going to hear me agree. But that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying the only thing I could tell it's not going to be is we're going to manipulate people and try and we're desperate. This is a desperate ploy. No, I do not buy it.
It's not. They're not telling him, okay, Snyder's going to take over as head of DC. No.
Nor are they saying, oh, we know this is going to suck. It's the two lies I've seen done are either one, it's desperate. They're just trying to cater to the Snyder cult because they're the only way to boost the numbers up to 1 million. Or two, the movie is bombing, and they're going to have Snyder come in and completely just redo the movie.
They would never do that, and Snyder would never do that because it's almost like he experienced that firsthand with a certain league.
So that's why I find it ridiculous when I see some people throwing it out there. I'm like, you guys realize that's hypocritical.
Yeah, there's no way Zack would do that personally. So that's what I'm going to say on that. But it's like, so the other like runs that I think at least deserve more of a...
I agree with Tevia. Blue Beetle Rebirth is underrated.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Wally West Flash by Mark Waid after Infinite Crisis.
Good writing, but the artwork, Daniel Acuna is not a great artist for me. He's too muddy.
What I'm gonna say on this, Azzarello on Wonder Woman, air quotes, as an Elseworlds take on Wonder Woman, because it is extremely except for like a couple of things like the Amazons being turned to snakes and Hippolyta being turned to like stone.
Which I think was a Jeff Johns suggestion.
Yeah, it doesn't cross over with DC, like except for like Orion, but barely anything.
Yeah, not even Ares.
Not even Ares. So I'm like,
or
as far as I know, I'm gonna take that as an Elseworlds book. That's like a fun little, heavily tied into Greek myth Wonder Woman book.
If it wasn't for the fact the Finch's book still carried it over.
Yeah, of course they still. I think that by the time like Brian left, they're probably like, we have to tie this in.
Oh, I got another one I think is underrated. Wolverine Origins. This was right after House of M when he regained his memory, and when we're introduced to the villain Romulus.
Is it Wolverine Origin, the one where like they made that comic because the movie was going to come out, and they're like, we can't have the movie do the origin first?
That was just Origins.
Wait, there's Origin and then Origins?
No, there's Origins and then Wolverine Origin.
Okay.
Wolverine Origin came about after House of M ended with him regaining all of his memories. But you know that includes all of his fake memories too that got erased. So now he was trying to juggle what was real and what was not.
Yeah, Tavia says the new crypto. Okay, by underrated, it's like people. It's runs that people necessarily hate, because I've never heard people like blast New Krypton.
Except that went on too dang long.
Yeah, you could say it went on too long, but I've never seen people say it's like hard. Like
actually, no, I have because there were a lot of people who just felt it was not a good story, and the fact that it ended with them putting everything back to square one speaks volumes. They would not do that unless there was backlash.
Or like the only problem I haven't read the story, but I'm aware of the general premise. Is Superman just abandoning Earth for Krypton?
He didn't. He was there to try and prevent it from getting, from attacking because Zod was put in charge.
Yeah. Okay. I see that. But
another one. But like I said, but Wolverine Origins does not, because a lot of people hate Romulus. He's supposed to be the mastermind behind so much of Wolverine's life. That's when Dakin, Wolverine's son, was introduced.
All right. I got one. It's something I never thought I'd say on Comics League, but screw it. Ta-Nehisi Coates and Captain America.
Okay.
Look at Robert.
What?
So I had those trades, and I read through them recently. And here's the thing. And I listened to a Perch discussion on this, and he made a good point. The thing about Ta-Nehisi Coates is that it came out at the wrong time because of like it was the post Secret Empire
and post Mark Waid's second
and post Mark Waid because Waid did a couple of issues, but it was the first full run after Secret Empire, so it's like people are already pissed off. So I read it. The cool discussion that is in that book is when Captain America says, I keep calling myself Captain America, but I keep going against the U.S. government.
Which is true.
I'm like, that's legitimately a good point. Now, there are some cringe moments, like where he has Sharon Carter go, yes, queen. There are some legitimate cringe as hell moments.
And if I remember right, he's the one who killed off General Ross originally. For a time.
Yeah, but Ross came back. They revealed these guys
not for a while, though, but not for a while.
In the I think it was like the third trade he came back.
Well, towards the end of the run, yeah, but it was long enough that he was considered dead even during Absolute Carnage.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, I can see that, but I'm like, see.
What is Damien Ray?
Jared, from what he told me, DC Film News, everyone says Grace, and everyone ran a big news was coming, and then was let down as we saw. Yeah, it's because Grace was hyping it up as like, oh, there's a big thing happening at DC now, but the press event today, which they had a lot of secrecy, which is kind of weird, but it was just
until Monday,
yeah, but it was like a Superman question and answer about the movie.
Really?
Yeah. From what I hear, they're still I think they're still gonna do an announcement on Monday of like DC studio stuff, but the event today was not like anything big.
But they were given a probably junket for the stuff they reveal on Monday.
Yeah. So I would say something is probably going to be revealed on Monday. We just have to wait until Monday and see what happens. We'll see. Yep. I mean, let me put it to you this way. I've learned from years of being a DC fan, expect the worst and you'll never be disappointed. So I'm like, I'm not going in there with any preconceived, oh yeah, it's going to happen. This is going to be so great. Zack's coming back. Because as far as we know, it could have been just a friendly thing. But
the coincidence is too huge.
The coincidence is too huge, particularly with the other director like talking to Gunn, and then he's announced for Clayface, which I think that's going to be really good. But it's like, let me put it this way. I think something is going to happen, but I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, it's happening. Oh my gosh, it's happening until it's literally announced.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. I know I'm curious. It's been Clone Saga and Octagon with Peter's body. Superior Spider-Man, I think was appropriately rated as good, but
at the same time, no, some of the stuff done.
Yeah. And
the stuff with MJ.
Yeah, and then Clone Saga, I think part of the reason why that goes on
too long.
Way too long. That's the problem.
Marketing. Marketing was responsible for that.
And the whole Ben is the real Spider-Man, but then Peter's the clone.
Well, to be fair, they went back and forth, and originally they were meant to have Ben take over, but they always had a back door. But then, of course, because sales went up, marketing said, you gotta keep it going, keep the gravy train flowing.
Well, you know what was the better Clone Saga is Ultimate Spider-Man, the original Ultimate Spider-Man Clone Saga. That was way better.
Well, that's because they actually had a plan and it was only one creative team, not a whole. Have you read the original Clone Saga miniseries?
No,
I'm not talking about the old one. I'm talking about the miniseries that gave us based off of the notes they had for what they originally had in mind.
I have not.
Yeah, it's eye-opening.
Do you want to elaborate?
It's eye-opening in that things are simplified, like Aunt May stay dead. And again, it's just, I have to reread it again to get the summary, but trust me, they were able to condense a lot into 6 issues, but of course that was a broad stroking of things. But yeah, you had Tom DeFalco and Howard Mackie return to go play off of their notes.
Mm-hmm.
But it did end with Peter being back as Spidey, May being on board, and Bendo still being alive. And it was Harry. That was the final villain. And it turns out this was all stuff he left before his death.
That's interesting.
So it would have had a big, once again saying, gotcha!
Okay, so that's kind of interesting there. What's another very underrated run from Teladia? What do you think, brother?
To be honest with you, another run for me has to be in terms of Marvel. Well, was it Marvel? No, DC. It was DC. Has to be Robin Year One.
That's a miniseries, but yeah,
that counts. Here's a run that I think is underrated. Sam Wilson, Captain America.
Which one?
The saga of Captain Sam Wilson.
You mean leading up to Secret Empire?
Well, it says all new Captain America 1 to 6.
Oh, so that must have been the recent ones.
Yeah, the issues that this is collecting came out in 2022, I think. That's weird. I think it's like, so they have the all new all I think it's the all new all different from the all new all different initiative.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it is. It's the all new all initiative from 2014. Because I'm like, okay, do I prefer Steve and or Barnes as Captain America? Yeah, but as for like what Sam contributes, yeah, I think it actually looks really cool. Cameron says Future Foundation was underrated. Also, fun fact. Had you been around me, Jeremy, when Johnny died, I would slander any Fantastic Four movie that came out, the comic that came out at that time. Well, he didn't die, though. That's the thing.
Right.
Which, that was a cool death, though, where he just goes, flame on! And then it's like all the Annihilus drones come after him. I'm like, okay.
James Robinson's Fantastic Four. Criminally underrated.
Oh, dope.
The red suit, that was the red suit era?
Why is that one underrated?
Well, because people just didn't like it for whatever reason. And it only lasted, it was so short. One of those games where Robinson's a great writer, but for some reason, much like Robin Diddy and all that stuff, he just gets sidelined or just doesn't get the views like he used to. And this is Starman James Robinson.
All new Wolverine and X-Men Red. Okay.
X-Men Red.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Tom Taylor stuff.
Oh. Which X-Men would you guys say is underrated? Oh, that's a good question. That's
I gave Wolverine Origins as one, but what, like, if they mean
X-Men?
Utopia. That seemed to have gone quiet. The Utopia era.
Is that the one when they're in San Francisco?
Yes.
I'll say that. I will agree with that. I love that era.
It's where it's gone quiet.
Yeah, that's the one where I'm like, it should be talked about more. I've heard some people blast it. I've heard some people like it. It's like one of those controversial areas where I'm like,
you had the Messiah trilogy. You had not Uncanny X-Force. You had the X-Force book.
Yeah, my favorite storyline from that period, which I plan on doing a video on, is X-Men Second Coming.
Yep, that's the end of the Messiah trilogy.
That is like badass. Teladia, in the storyline, they literally, so you know Rogue's powers that if you touch her, a mutant transfers her powers, right? So literally 5 mutants touch her and just transfer their powers to her. So she's like Colossus-sized Wolverine claws. She
wasn't Colossus size, she was just meddled.
Well, that she got from Colossus. That's my point.
But not his size. Is all I said. Like not size.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
They kill off Nightcrawler.
Yeah, because it's like he teleports.
They were killing off teleporters. And
then this is where it's revealed that Hope Summers' powers is that she can replicate the powers of mutants around her.
Yeah, it took her that long to find that out. We also have.
Sierra Empire. There you go. That was a good one.
Right? Yeah, this is where all the stuff was Vulcan, which led up to War of the Kings.
Let's see. Which Spider-Man run do you think is underrated?
Oof.
That's too hard for me. It's too hard for me.
Until some people started praising it, technically Spencer would have fallen under that at first when it started. You know what? I gotta be honest. Can I be honest?
What?
Slot's run wasn't the worst.
Whose run?
Slot.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst. There wasn't anything that was very offensive.
Yeah, well, again, besides some specific actions he did, yeah. Oh, you want to know one book I think it deserves recognition in general?
Damie says, I wonder if they're going to give us an update in the DCU slate in Elseworlds. Can we actually know what directors now, please? That could be true. What is that?
Shrugged, a miniseries done by Aspen Comics. It was an idea Michael Turner had. It basically takes the concept of shoulder angels and devils, but we see the world that they live in. And that turns out they go to war.
By the way, Sean Franklin brings up the Hancock sequel that got that's in development. I'm like, that's quite a pull to make a sequel for.
Well, to be fair, from what I understood, people who actually watched it like it because it's not a bad movie. It was the trailer that made it look atrocious.
Oh, it was dope. Is Hancock gonna slap someone?
I hope not.
You know what I'm referencing. What Justice League run is underrated? Oh man.
Oh, McDuffie.
Yep. It doesn't get talked about enough. That run is dope. That run is incredible.
How about what Batman run?
Batman run. I'm going to say I say Tinian.
I was actually thinking that myself.
Yeah, because
it was a placeholder run era, I would have to say.
Yeah, because here's the thing about Tinian. While I didn't like the taking away his money thing trope that they always do with the rich characters,
they didn't dwell on it that much. You
didn't notice it that much. I'm like, he's still like he's so rich. He's just not super rich.
What Flash run is underrated?
I haven't read a lot of Flash, so I'm gonna bow out of that one.
I cannot think of.
Although I love Rebirth Flash, that's why I will.
Williamson. Actually, no. Venditti's run.
Okay.
Venditti's run, I would say, is underrated.
Or here's one that's not necessarily underrated, but is not talked about enough. New 52, Francis Manapul.
Francis Manapul. I think Manapul has spoken more of than Venditti, though.
Okay.
I got a good one.
Yeah, go ahead.
New 52, New Gods.
There was a New Gods
book? There was not a New Gods. No, they appeared during Green Lantern stuff. There was never a New God series. No, wait. Unless you mean the Forever People and the Infinity Man.
Yeah.
That was good. And OMAC.
OMAC was good. I liked OMAC. Men of War.
Yep.
Good as hell.
Underrated Teen Titans run. Sean McKeever and JT Kral.
Okay. Underrated Avengers. This counts. Ultimates by Mark Millar.
No, Ultimates is beloved.
Not when you get to like the first one is still everyone's like,
Yeah, but trust me, it's when Loeb took over.
Loeb took over and like.
Okay, but Jeff Johns' run.
His
was right after Jeff Johns' Avengers run.
Yes. Oh God, yes. Isn't he the one that had Iron Man and Cap fight? I mean, Iron Man and Thor fight.
Nope.
I thought that it's included in the trade of his run. That's the thing.
I know there was the Thor fight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got one.
The GMS did. Oh, but he's the one I told you before that got reverted She-Hulk back to Jen.
Okay, here's something. I picked this up for my birthday. So this is taking place after Ultimatum. Jeff Loeb, New Ultimates.
Oh, that's not bad.
This is really good. I'm like,
it's Frank Cho on artwork.
Yeah,
although, you know what the funny is? You know what the only page that people always focus on that book is?
What?
Pregnant Hella.
Yeah, I know.
That's the only page you ever see people reference because, well, she's hot.
Well, I just love so Thor comes back from the dead and just wipes the floor with everyone.
But I love how it's a twist. Oh, by the way, you want to know what happened to his son?
Yeah, what happens?
Turned evil, then killed.
Of course, because that's the ultimate universe. And Jamie Ray says, Jared, have you read 80 Years of Batman Detective Comics? I have it, but I haven't read it yet. I did read the 80 Years of Wonder Woman, which was amazing. I'm definitely going to read that as well. Underrated event from Marvel or DC? Good question.
Ooh.
Underrated event.
Ooh.
Death Metal.
Yeah,
nah, I think Death Metal is not that underrated by comparison.
Death Metal is known as like the storyline that derailed DC.
I strongly disagree with that personally, but ooh.
Or Final Crisis. There's
still some people that are like, I would say Dark Crisis.
Okay, Dark Crisis has great moments.
No, for me, he said this was a matter of opinion.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I'm saying I kind of agree with you.
Yeah, I say it felt like it was a grounded crisis when you really look at it.
Was it really a crisis?
No, it was. Here's what I realized about it. The whole point was for Pariah through Slade to push everything to get as close to being a crisis level event as it could without bringing the multiverse in. But you realize that was the whole point was they were trying to get it up the crisis level. That was the whole point of everything. I love that idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea, but I'm like, can you really have a crisis and not have it involve really the multiverse?
Well, it did technically because it filled the omniverse with a new infinite multiverse.
I hate the.
Oh, here's something that's underrated. Ecstatics.
Where was that?
Hold on, let me grab it.
By the way, Dammy Ray says, I'm kind of curious for everyone. I've never checked out The Authority. I doubt it happens, but would Zach be good doing that? Robert, would Zach be good doing Authority?
Yes.
That is 110.
I still say directing it. I'm not saying you have to be good writing it, but at
no. Directing it, dude?
Yes.
Of the DCU projects?
Perfect project.
That is a perfect project for Zack Snyder. Read that book, Damie. It is 110% something you would do.
Ecstatic.
Oh, okay, I see.
Mike Allred. But yeah, well, here's the thing, though. You know what the only downside I would give is if he was involved with the story side, I think he would go for the Mark Millar Authority, unless the Warren Ellis one.
Well, they already we already said that the movie's gonna be based on the Warren Ellis one.
I know, but I'm just saying, if he was given complete control, I personally think Zach would go more for the Millar version. Personally,
it could.
It just seems to be his taste. That's all.
But of the IP.
Oh yeah, of the IPs, it's perfect.
Yeah, that's one that he could do all the edgy stuff he wants, and no one's gonna bat an eye.
But that's my point. Why I think he would lean more to the Millar version, because that was the edgier one. That's the one where you had Apollo get taken up from behind by a Captain America knockoff.
Yeah, and no, there's no way Zach would do that.
Well, no. I'm just saying that's how edgy Millar went. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Enzo says underrated crossover.
A lot of the crossovers
are under. Yeah, exactly. A lot of them. Superman, Hulk, Batman, Daredevil.
I would agree with Tevia about James Robinson's Wonder Woman.
Yep. 100. Post Rucka, Rebirth Wonder Woman's actually pretty good.
Stars and Stripes, the original Stargirl stuff. You always focus on Stargirl after it.
Yeah. I would also say in terms of Wonder Woman, Love is a Battlefield, The Just War, Four Horsewomen. Even Future State Wonder Woman was pretty good.
By the way, can I say this? I personally feel the director from Flash gets, aside from some of his stupid comments, gets way too much hate for stuff that was not in his control. He didn't write the dang thing, and a lot of the stuff was rushed and all the executive meddling. Again, his statements are stupid. But I do think he gets too much hate.
Yeah, like the whole, it's supposed to look wonky. And I'm like, okay.
I think he's just desperate in that point because
no, but here's the thing. Choice. I would believe that if he had Barry comment in the movie saying, hey, something looks weird here. Everyone looks like they're in the Polar Express or something like that. I
agree with that. It should be acknowledged. But like I said, I think he gets too much unnecessary. This is the guy who directed it, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, if there's one person that can do a Batman versus Joker movie, it's that. So would you guys do? I would say of the projects that he would get the least flack for, Authority.
But Batman, Brave and the Bold, I think they're going to go too. I think it's going to be too character driven.
I think it's going to be a little. Well, they already gave that project to Muschietti, and he's doing it. So.
And they're not going to get rid of it. I'm sorry. People keep saying they should get rid of it. Why?
There's no reason to get rid of that one.
Oh, Hellboy. That was Starman.
That's a good one.
Oh, Joker Mask was a brilliant one.
Here's an underrated crossover: Wonder Woman Conan.
Yep.
Where they actually tried to fit like Wonder Woman into Conan's world. They made you think they exist in the same world at first.
Star Trek Next Gen Doctor Who. Star
Trek Green Lantern.
I was going to say Star Trek Planet of the Apes.
Teladia, they do Star Trek Green Lantern. So Star Trek Green Lantern takes place during in an alternate Blackest Night. So what happens is like all the lanterns.
They
lost Blackest Night, but all the leader lanterns show up in the Star Trek universe, in the Chris Pine Star Trek universe. Then you see like the bridge crew get lantern rings.
And we also see General Chang from Star Trek 6. We get to see his 09 reboot self, and he becomes a yellow lantern. And we see a Gorn, that's the lizard guy, become a red lantern. and we see a Romulan becoming an Orange Lantern.
And
Star Trek A Legion. Love that one. Because you know what they do? They connect Vandal Savage with another original series Star Trek character who I just forget.
Khan?
No, not Khan. Someone else. A good guy.
Oh,
Crazy.
okay.
They show that they went 2 different directions, but they all start at the same point.
That's cool. Cameron says underrated Nightwing. New 52.
Higgins, yep.
I would say Higgins is definitely underrated. How about underrated Suicide Squad?
I would actually have to say the Williams. That was the Rebirth version.
Yep. How about new fifth?
Can I tell you why?
Why?
I just love that bit with Harley becoming Harleen, and showing that she's more dangerous as Harleen.
Is that the one where like they market it as like she's gone sane?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Lee drawing it.
All right.
And you had Zod bulking up.
Yeah, I got another one. Underrated Deathstroke.
I can't say Priest is underrated. I love that, but you know what?
On that, Robert, I just read Deathstroke Year 1. Good Lord, that is badass.
Can I actually, you know what? I'm gonna go controversial here.
All right.
Liefeld's arc.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
With
you mean the one with New 52, right? Yeah.
Lobo, yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. That was like the first Deathstroke book I ever read, I think.
I mean, and I'm talking about the part when Liefeld drew it, the whole thing.
Where he crossed over with like Zealot and the Wildcats and stuff.
Yep, and then they try to say that it turns out Lobo actually had a girlfriend that was another Zarian, and they didn't go anywhere with that.
Yeah. Underrated Superman run.
Ooh.
Let's go. We did stories.
You should not be named. Guys, kidding. I hated it.
Get him out for 2 minutes.
Okay. Rucka's Adventures run. Oh no. Busick's run.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Either one of those work. Either one.
For
Rucka's
underrated?
What? Busick, I would definitely say is underrated. Big time.
Yeah, and for me, I'm actually going to go with story arc because...
Oh, if you're going to go with that, then I already got one.
Panic in the Sky.
Okay, I was going to say that Fabian Nicieza 2-issue.
What storyline was that called?
The religious one.
Oh, you mean is that the one where the woman is praying that Superman will save her?
that was one. I'm talking about the one with the boy who absorbs the praise from this pastor, and that was the whole bit of Clark. Remember, Fabian said he had a whole year planned out, and he condensed it to 2 issues.
And we did that one, right?
Yeah, we did that one. That's the one where we talked about they could have done a Face Justice League or there was Wonder Woman involved. We were saying all this potential because Fabian asked the important questions without demonizing religion. Like, when does a church cross the line? More likely when they go to another country and push their beliefs.
Yeah. Tavia says underrated Ms. Marvel book. Brian Reed.
Yep. But I would say the Kamala Khan stuff when it started, that's gone forgotten.
I checked it out. It's not for me. But yeah, if you ever want to read Carol Danvers at her best, Brian Reed, he 100% got her. What Robert got from his massive library.
Great Lake Avengers.
Oh, okay.
And
The Thing. Okay.
But you know who wrote both of these?
Who?
Slott.
Okay.
They're around the time of his She-Hulk stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So this is when he was really good.
Underrated comic book movie because I'm going Green Lantern.
I would agree with that.
It's not perfect and by any means, but it doesn't deserve the hate it gets.
I would say a lot of the blame goes on executives and Guggenheim. Oh, by the way, have you heard what people are bringing up about what Guggenheim once said about One More Day?
You mean about what he wanted to do with MJ?
And you know the funny thing is, I like some of his DC writing.
But when you read that, I'm like, why? You could say you could have said I would have wanted her to die and just end it at that. But you had to go that far.
I mean, I gotta say, there's only two things that Guggen haven't done that I really like. His Flash stuff, where he wrapped up the Bart era. That's the one where Bart died. He did that those last few issues, and his Wolverine stuff, which dealt with Wolverine dying and basically revealed why he keeps coming back from the dead.
Tevye says Cowboys and Aliens. Oh yeah, that is
that's a good one.
That's a good one as well. I can't believe we've never covered that movie on movie night.
To be fair though, it's very different. It was one of those cases where the movie started in production while the comic was even starting.
Oh.
You want to know an underrated comic is also a cartoon show?
What?
Big Guy and Rusty. It's a Frank Miller creation.
Oh, I need
look up the cartoon. Look up the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, while you're doing that, I got a different one I got to show.
These
ones are really unknown. You know what has to be hands down one of the best things that Keith Giffen and J.M. DeMatteis did together?
What? Go ahead. And by you mean this?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Right, that's based off of stuff that Frank Miller worked on.
Yeah. All right. So what's the book? Hero Squared. Oh, interesting.
Basically, the whole idea is a hero whose world got destroyed in a crisis-like event comes over to a world where he's not his counterpart, where his own self didn't become a hero, and it's a normal world, but it actually deals with stuff like the problems with like it asks the big question like, is he truly a hero or is he too much of a meathead?
All right, I got one. Sidekicked. Have you read this, Robert? So what this is about is the sidekicks of superheroes get pissed off that they're constantly being shot upon and like looked down on, so they break away and form their own superhero team.
I got another one.
Martha Washington. Okay.
Frank Miller.
Okay.
Hands down,
What?
his best female created character.
Why did you say that name?
Oh, Martha. All right, Robert. I'm going to play this clip for fun.
Why did you say that name?
But go on.
Okay, here's one for you, dude. Most underrated Superman origin in comics.
I'm going to go with American Alien.
I'm going to go with Birthright.
I'm going to go with Secret Origin.
No, I said underrated.
Underrated, all right. Yeah, American Alien, yeah.
Yeah, I would say Birthright.
Yeah, I like Birthright.
But the funny thing is, though, Birthright feels fine on its own standing, not as a retconning of post-crisis.
But did you see that Max Landis has this entire DC universe plan? Had this universe plan, as in, if he got more after like American Alien, what would he do?
Yeah, it's like all right. And Russell got his with his Ages book.
Yeah, but I'm like, because he did YouTube like videos talking about how he would do this and like what character bring in. And I'm like, this actually sounds interesting. I would actually buy this stuff. I love an American Alien when Deathstroke shows up to kill Bruce Wayne, but doesn't know that Clark is not Bruce Wayne. Clark just throws him off the ship.
Oh, I got another one. Underrated run. Red Hulk.
I haven't read Red Hulk.
Oh, trust me, it is very underrated. It's just, if you're going for dumb fun, you'll love. Oh, wait, here's a different one. I get so many. Dan Abnett and Andy Landing's Majestic. That's when Majestic came to the DC universe, and then what happened afterwards when he went back home.
Mm-hmm. Underrated Thor.
Jurgens.
I've never read Jurgens. Of the ones that I read, Jason Aaron.
Aaron's not underrated. That lasted for quite a long time.
Yeah, but I barely hear anyone talk about it.
And really? When you have Love and Thunder be based off of it?
Not well.
True, but it was, and I if I had to go beyond Jurgens, I'd have to say JMS's run.
JMS's run is great. I'll go with that one. I like that
Too
one.
bad he got screwed over because they decided he worked so hard to bring Asgard to Oklahoma, and they're like, we're going to destroy it.
But Robert, what do you think of Zdarsky on Captain America?
I think it'll work.
I saw that and I'm like,
hey, given his Batman run, I can see it working.
okay, yeah. I'm like, I recently completed Zdarsky's Daredevil run, and I'm like, good God, is that spectacular?
Here's a question for you. So bad, it's good runs. Like something that is not underrated. You acknowledge it's bad, but you can't help but enjoy it.
Oh God, that's a good question.
I can tell you one. Chuck Austin's Action Comics.
I never read that one.
Oh Lord, it is so infuriating. But at the same time, there's stuff about it. It's like great artists involved.
I would have said Tom. Actually, no, I'll say it. Screw it. Tom King's Batman.
Wait, what?
Because the art is good. The art is good. It's just the writing that is utter dog water.
Okay, there was actually one other Guggenheim story I did like. His JSA run, which wrapped up the JSA.
Ooh, I got another one. So bad it's good. New 52 Teen Titans.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, because again, Brett Broussard.
There was two.
The first one.
Yeah, okay, because there was another one, remember, that followed up on, but before that was that DCU?
It might have been DCU. I'm talking about the first one. Because, like, Brett Broussard, solid.
Mm-hmm. But, wait, here's one underrated. Supergirl, New 52 Supergirl.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You mean when she became a Red Lantern?
Well, before that.
Well, before that, too. Underrated. Red Lanterns.
Which era?
The first one.
The Milligan one. Before Soleil? That's all? Yeah. Milligan was really good. He made Atrocity an interesting character. Again, I'm sorry. That's the one thing I would say.
It's a
Charles
different rebooted version. That's why I don't really care.
Wait, what?
It's a different rebooted version of Atrocitus. That's why I'm like, I don't really care.
No, wait, how is it different when it led from one issue right into it? It was the very next issue.
No, I mean, it was after the Flashpoint reboot.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, yeah, Green Lanterns didn't reboot.
No. Milligan, his handling of Atrocitus was fine. He built him up.
He was first, and then there was the same version. Okay, I understand now.
And Charles, very next issue, makes him a zealot.
Mm-hmm.
And over the top,
Now, last question before we wrap up. What is... Okay, let me see. What do you...
Which I had one more thing to bring up. That's not underrated, just so hard to find.
Yeah, go ahead.
Supreme. Alan Moore Supreme.
Okay. Now, what is a comic book writer that you think gets more hate than they deserve?
Tom
King.
Joking.
I was going to say that sincerely.
Tom King? It depends on the book.
Not counting Wonder Woman.
Depends on the book.
Depends on the book, but I do think it's overly done.
Batman, I think there's some stuff to like about it. When he's writing a character no one cares about, or like a mini-series, yeah, I would say, okay, fine. I may not enjoy everything he does in a mini-series, but okay. It's when it gets to the ongoing books that I'm like, no. DC, if you're somehow watching this, don't give him an ongoing series. It obviously doesn't work. Because some writers just can't take the stretched out.
Can I get a character writer I feel gets too much hate on this show?
Who?
Now you can't count this as a,
I'll temporarily suspend it. Go.
Tomasi.
You can have that opinion.
I'll be
more of an attitude towards certain people,
which I get, but I've read so much of his work. I
like his Green Lantern work, but I'm like,
like even the stuff at Ghost Machine's been really good. Rocketfellas and Hornsby and Halo.
Yeah. So as for me, I mean
if you brought up about the announcement recently, we're finally getting the Meltzer book.
Oh hell yeah!
It's going to be the first Ghost that's part of the Unnamed universe.
Oh sweet. Me, Mark Millar.
I could agree with that.
Because there are sometimes he goes too edgy with stuff.
I think he's gotten better since
He's
his
gotten
work.
better, but see, the thing I notice about him, mostly, it always serves a narrative purpose.
Explain Nemesis.
I've never read that one.
Oh God, dude!
Of the stuff I've read, when he goes ridiculously edgy, it's rarely in from the stuff that I have read feels gratuitous.
Wait, I do have one. Oh, where is it? Where is it?
Also, I could add Frank Miller.
True. Hold on a second.
Okay.
There's a book I want to see you try and defend.
Okay. Let's see. What does he want me to defend? I'm a little concerned here. I'm a little concerned.
Try and defend with Mark Millar.
I can't defend that one. I definitely can't defend that one. That's the one, Teladia, when they try to retcon that Aunt May is Peter's biological mom.
Okay. You know the biggest continuity kerfuffle that makes this solely not make sense?
What?
The originally this was meant to be the 6T version. Then they try to backwards say it was the ultimate version before then saying it's not at all. How can Aunt May go from being his mom to being so old and decrepit?
I don't know.
You can't. How?
Infinity Stones? Maybe the Time Stone?
It doesn't make any sense. Now, the ultimate one, you can push it a little, barely, because she was more Silver Foxy. Not, oh, you could just cough on her and she'll keel over. I'm sorry. The way Ditko drew her, she looked like the Crypt Keeper. She
looked like she had one foot in the grave, to the point where when people were like, here's what Peter should have done in one more day. Just said, okay, she's lived her life.
Exactly. But, like I said, the ultimate version I can more buy.
Yeah, because she's a little younger. But anyway, I think it's a good place to leave it. So, Teladia, where can one find you and what have you got coming on your channel?
You guys can check me on YouTube at Teladia Plays. What I've got coming up on my channel is I'll be doing the Batman Beyond clip video that'll be coming up this weekend, and I'll be doing another live stream for Marvel Rivals. So stay tuned for that, and it'll be on YouTube. I've been having fun doing competitive stuff, so yeah.
How about you, Robert?
I got some videos in the can. Just recorded a new part of my ROM reviews.
Mm-hmm.
ROM Space Knight. By the way, I just saw one more underrated book. Paul Dini's Zatanna.
Never read it. Is it good?
Oh, it's Paul Dini writing Zatanna. What do you expect?
Message received.
Remember, his wife is pretty much Zatanna.
Yeah, that's true. For me, it would be okay. So for Comics League, Britt and I are going to be talking about the DCEU movies. Boy, did we somehow the stars aligned, and we get this teasing the week we're doing the DCEU movies. Oh my god! But so we have that, and then. As for Wonder Woman Wednesday, you guys really responded to my episode. I really appreciate that. So next week is going to be my favorite Wonder Woman writers. And then in terms of what else? In terms of movie night tomorrow is going to be Transformers Rise of the Beasts.
I got to get I might not join that one. I got other stuff probably going on.
Okay, it's all good. But yeah. I think that's a good play. That's all I got. Stay heroic, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She belongs to General Zod. Zoe is the Maxibat for life. See you later. And Robert didn't have time to take his headphones off. Suck it!